fact, and everything in between. But now we're going cryptid hunting across Europe. While North America has Bigfoot and Mothman, Europe's mysteries are just as strange and often much older. From the icy lakes of Sweden to the mist-covered moors of Scotland and deep into the dark forests of Eastern Europe, reports of strange creatures haven't stopped. In this episode, we're exploring recent cryptid sightings, not ancient myths or legends from the 1600s, but modern accounts from the last few years, told by witnesses who swear they've seen something science can't explain. So grab your flashlights, let's set off into the dark. Let's start in the north, Scandinavia. Before I start, I'd like to apologise for any mispronunciation of any of the lakes in Sweden, Norway or wherever. So let's start. There are currently 200 documented testimonies from a total of 500 people who say they have seen the lake monster Storgeret. These documents are kept at the County Museum, Jamtli. Many more have spoken orally about their experiences, but they have not come forward with a written testimony. There are probably a great number of people who have seen unexplained phenomena in the dark waters of Lake Storgeren, but have not dared to come forward at all. All witnesses agree on this one thing. It's a strong experience to meet the beast, an experience which you never forget. Could all these witnesses be wrong? For centuries, Sweden's Lake Storgeren has been home to a legend, Storgeret, or the Great Lake Monster. Eyewitnesses describe a long snake-like creature with humps breaking the surface of the water, not unlike Scotland's Nessie. What makes this interesting is the reports have continued into the 21st century. In 2017, two tourists claimed they saw a dark undulating shape beneath the surface, big enough to rock their small boat. Local newspapers picked it up, sparking another round of debate. Scientists suggested logs or schools of large fish, but residents in the nearby town, Osterlund, just smiled. To them, Storgeret never left. A few hundred miles northeast in Iceland, Lake Lagerflöt has its own serpent, Lagerflötsjömjörn, or the worm. It first appeared in chronicles in 1345, but it went viral again in 2012 when a local man captured what looked like a long writhing shape moving beneath the frozen water. Skeptics called it ice debris. Believers saw proof. The Icelandic government even investigated, not to prove the monster, but to verify whether the video could be a hoax. The official conclusion? Inconclusive. If you ask someone to name Europe's most famous cryptid, you'll probably hear Loch Ness, and yes, Nessie still draws attention. But Britain's cryptid actually stretches far beyond one loch. Let's start with the obvious. In 2023, local media near Inverness reported several sonar contacts in Loch Ness. They didn't match any known boats or large fish. One anomaly measured over 30 feet long, moving independently beneath the surface. The Loch Ness Investigation Bureau, a volunteer group that's been tracking sightings since the 1960s, logged it as one of their most compelling modern records. No photo, no body, just sonar data. But in the age of science, sometimes that's enough to reignite mysteries. However, so much has been said about Nessie that I don't think I need to cover more here. However, if you think differently, let me know in the comments or contact me through the usual social media channels. The result, the legend lives on, and so does tourism. People still visit hoping to glimpse the worm. It's funny how the line between folklore and economy can blur when the unknown becomes profitable. My own take on lake monsters is this: no one has ever shown any real evidence, images, or dead or alive bodies. Nothing to prove scientifically that they exist. As I had previously said, I think this helps tourism in the same areas that they are said to exist, and I don't think that it's a bad thing. You can get the odd freak of nature, where a creature outgrows its normal height or length. I have seen this myself, having been in a marine biology situation for a number of years. You get a fish that has grown twice its normal size. No reason, it just does. So are these sightings just normal animals, like hills, that have just not stopped growing? I don't know. Maybe there are real monsters. Who knows? It's a mystery. Shadows on the Moor. Beyond the locks, the UK has another cryptid boom: phantom big cats. Since lockdown lifted in 2021, police in multiple counties, Devon, Gloucestershire and North Yorkshire, have fielded reports of large black panther-like animals prowling farmland. One farmer near Exmoor captured thermal footage showing a big feline shape stalking sheep at night. When wildlife experts analysed it, they admitted it's not a dog, it's not a fox, it's large, and we can't confirm what it is. Theories range from escaped exotic pets to breeding populations of pumas released decades ago. Others think something else lurks in the hedgerows, something older, wilder and far more elusive. So, what are people seeing and reporting? Sightings typically fall into a few categories. Number 1, black panthers, melanistic leopards. Described as large, sleek black cats, reported most often in Scotland, Wales and the southwest. Example, Exmoor. Number 2, pumas, the mountain lions. Tan-coloured, long-tailed cats, often claimed in the wild moorland or farmland areas. Number 3, lynx-like cats. smaller but still bigger than domestic cats, tufted ears and short tails. While driving to work one evening, I noticed a large black cat in a field. I stopped, got out of the car and went towards the field. The black cat charged me. Before I could do any more, it was upon me, and that's when I noticed it was a domestic black cat, but from a distance it was easily mistaken for a large black panther. You can just never tell when you're travelling at 60 miles an hour in a vehicle. You just don't know. While working in Stevenage in Hertfordshire, I was having a discussion with some students of mine, all of whom were adults, and one said she was out walking her dogs and saw a huge paw print in the mud near her house. She went to the local chemist, purchased some plaster of Paris and returned to the prints and made some casts. She brought them to the next class. We were all shocked. They were massive. They must have belonged to a very large cat. We asked if she had reported it to the police, and she said that she had. She said they asked if they could keep one of the casts. She said there had been about 50 people who had reported big cats. Someone, 3 days before her, had said they had seen a very large black cat that had stalked her and her dog. She said it was bigger than a Rottweiler. They also told her to talk to the local farmer, as he had a gun license and was hunting the cat. We later found out that a very large black panther had escaped from the local zoo, but they kept it quiet in the hope of catching it before anyone noticed. Fortunately, they did catch it just before the local farmer shot it, as it was about to attack one of his sheep. Some years later, they admitted that they'd also lost a puma around the same time. Where that went, no one knows. The evidence so far: physical evidence, occasional tracks, blurry photos, or carcasses have been reported, but none confirmed as big cats by experts. DNA tests on hair samples over the years have usually matched dogs, domestic cats, or foxes. A few exotic cats have been captured historically, but these were escapees, not part of wild breeding groups, i.e. a puma captured in 1980 in Indonesia. Ecological considerations. The UK ecosystem could theoretically support a few large cats, abundant deer, few natural predators, but a stable breeding population would likely leave clearer evidence, roadkill, clear genetic samples, consistent sightings, etc. Why sightings increased? Well, number 1, 1976 Dangerous Wild Animals Act. Before this law, some people kept exotic pets, including big cats. After the law required strict licensing, some owners allegedly released their animals instead of giving them up. This is often cited as the origin of panthers on the loose. Number 2, misidentification. Many big cat reports turn out to be dogs at a distance, large domestic cats seen with no size reference, deer or foxes in low light, optical illusions in tall grass. Famous UK big cats: the Beast of Exmoor, Devon; the Beast of Bodmin, Cornwall; the Surrey Puma in Surrey; and the Galloway Puma in Scotland. These remain unsolved mystery stories rather than confirmed in zoology. So, do big cats exist in the UK? Most likely. The occasional escapes of released exotic pets may exist temporarily, no confirmed substantial big cat population, but the sightings persist, and many are from credible witnesses, farmers, police, which keep the mystery alive. Most convincing big UK big cat sightings. Number 1. The Inverness puma, captured in 1980. Location: Cannock in Scotland. Why it stands out: a live puma was actually captured after repeated sightings. It was healthy, tame, and thought to be an escaped release pet. Confirms that exotic big cats have been at large in the UK. The strength: a real puma was found, undisputed. The limitations: no evidence. It was part of a breeding group. 2. The Beast of Exmoor, 1983 to 1987. Location: Exmoor, Devon. Why it stands out: farmers reported over 100 livestock attacks with unusual wounds. Multiple sightings by farmers, hikers, and even soldiers. The government deployed Royal Marines to investigate and tried to track the animal. The Marines reported seeing a large black cat through scopes, though no shots were taken. The strength: multiple trained observers, plus livestock predation. Limitations: no body or DNA found. Number 3. The Beast of Bodmin Moor, 1990s. Location: Cornwall. Why it stands out: dozens of sightings over several years. Multiple grainy videos and photos, better than most. In 1995, the UK government founded a formal DEFRA investigation, which concluded no big cats were proven, but also couldn't rule out escaped individuals. DEFRA stands for Department Environment, Food and Rural Affairs. The strength: only official national investigation. The limitations: no conclusive physical evidence. Number 4. The Surrey puma, 1950s to the 1960s. Location: Surrey. Why it stands out: one of the earliest modern UK cat flaps. Over 300 sightings were reported across several years. Police found paw prints, scratch marks, and livestock kills that some experts at the time considered consistent with large felid. Strength: long-term cluster with police involvement. Limitations: no physical capture. Number 5. The Galloway puma, 1990s. Locations: Dumfries and Galloway, Scotland. Why it stands out: witnesses included farmers and police officers. A large cat was photographed. The photo is still widely discussed. Several sheep were killed, and several sheep kills were attributed to it. Strength: multiple credible observers and physical predation. Limitations: photo quality inconclusive. Number 6. The Gloucestershire panther, the Forester Dean, 2000 to 2010s. Location: the Forester Dean. Why it stands out: recorded by police officers on thermal imaging during patrols. Fresh tracks and scratch marks sometimes found. Local deer and sheep carcasses occasionally shown to wildlife experts with possible big cat style injuries. Strength: police thermal video considered one of the strongest pieces of modern evidence. Limitations: thermal footage not detailed enough to conclusively ID species. Number 7. The Lancashire lynx, captured in 2006. Location: Lincolnshire. Why it stands out: a Eurasian lynx was trapped after being seen repeatedly near a golf course. It was confirmed by authorities again, showing that exotic cats do escape and survive in the wild. Strength: verified capture of a non-native big cat. Limitations: another isolated individual, not evidence of a breeding population. What these sightings collectively suggest: big cats have been at large in the UK. Captured cases prove this. The strongest sightings tend to involve trained observers, livestock kills and official investigations. None provide clear proof of a breeding population, but several suggest escaped individuals have survived for months or years. My personal take on this is, with climate change and it's getting warmer in the UK, especially in the summers, the winters are not as bad as they used to be. We don't get as much snow, it's not as cold. Do I believe they survive? Yeah, I do. Are there breeding populations out there? Possibly. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out in the next 5 years or so. I know in Scotland they're reintroducing the lynx. So, what's to say they're coming south, warmer climes? We'll soon find out. Then there's the dogman phenomenon. Part folklore, part internet fuel. The UK dogman is a cryptid described as a large wolf-like creature that walks on two legs, often compared to the American dogman or the classic werewolf. Unlike traditional werewolf legends, the dogman is not usually said to transform from a human. It's described as a separate physical creature. Common features reported are 6 to 7 feet tall, muscular humanoid body, dog or wolf-like head, upright and switching between bipedal and quadrupedal movement, glowing eyes, often red or yellow, strong odour described as wet dog or rotting meat, terrifying growl or howl. There is also this description of dogman that is quite chilling. The dogman is generally described as a large bipedal canid, ranging in colour from greys to white to completely black. Height varies, with encounters and sightings ranging from man-sized to massive 8 to 10 feet tall creatures. They're also described to have yellow to gold eyes that seem to glow of their own accord. Some tales say other colours, but yellow gold seems to be the most common. The biggest thing about the eyes is how the witnesses say they made them feel. They describe the eyes as being pure evil and staring at them with hatred or malevolence, malice and death. They all say that they felt fear and threatened by the creature's gaze. I can understand that. If an upright canid with glowing yellow eyes stared at me, I'm sure I'd be feeling the same way. That and reaching for my pistol as I slowly backed away. If you were to encounter one of these things, bear in mind that type of creature is a predator. They will act like any other predator. They can smell your fear. Running away from them will invoke the predatory response. They will chase you. If you need to get away, do not turn and run. Keep an eye on the creature so you know exactly where it is at all times. Where is the dogman supposed to be seen in the UK? Sightings cluster in a few well-known hotspots. Cannock Chase in Staffordshire. Probably the most famous UK dogman location. Reports since the late 1800s include one hiker in 2022 near Cannock Chase reported seeing a grey muscular figure standing upright by the tree line, silent, watching. When he raised his flashlight, it bolted away faster than a human could run. A tall, dark, canyon humanoids, red-eyed creature chasing cyclists and hikers, howls heard at night with no known animal source. Cannock Chase is already known for the paranormal stories, including UFOs, black-eyed children, which fuels the Dogman reputation. The Fens, Cambridgeshire and Lincolnshire. Vast wetlands with a long history of black dog folklore. Reports include a large wolf-headed figure stalking along drainage banks, farmer sightings of a man with a dog's face crossing fields at dusk, the legend of Black Shook and Hellhound of East Anglia. Appearance. Descriptions of Black Shook vary, but it is typically a large black dog, sometimes reported as being the size of a calf. Nature. It is often considered as an omen of death to those who see it. However, some accounts describe the creature as companionable. Local lore. Stories of the creature form a prominent part of local folklore in Norfolk, Suffolk, Essex and the Cambridgeshire Fens. Haunting tales included a version from Littleport, Cambridgeshire, where it's said that a huge black dog haunts the town after being killed trying to save a girl. Another tale of the dog stalking the A10 road after its owner drowned. Historical accounts. An account from 1577, recorded by Andrew Fleming, described a huge hound bursting into a church during a great tempest, causing death and leaving scorch marks. Archaeological finds in 2014, bones of a large, approximately 7-foot-long dog were found in an unmarked shallow grave at Leiston Abbey in Suffolk, which locals link to the legend of the Black Shook. The Scottish Highlands. Witnesses in the Scottish Highlands and the north of England describe a creature walking on two legs with a canyon head and glowing eyes. Remote areas in the Cairngorms have legends of it. Giant wolf-like bipeds. A creature known as the Wolver, a benevolent wolfman spirit, encounters around old ruins and forests. Dogman, misidentified animal, a trick of adrenaline. Whatever it is, the witnesses never hiked alone again. From folklore and pop culture. Ancient roots. The legend has much older roots, possibly stemming from Norse mythology, like the Hounds of Odin, brought by the Vikings, or from much earlier Anglo-Saxon traditions of ghostly dogs protecting burial mounds and crossroads. Modern appearances. The legend is so persistent that it is believed to have been a source of inspiration for Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's classic novel, The Hound of the Baskervilles. There have also been alleged sightings reported in East Anglia as recent as the 1970s and the 1980s. The story of Black Shook is a perfect example of the cultural archetype of the terrifying, erroneous supernatural canon that exists throughout British folklore, serving the foundation of modern UK dogman reports. Meanwhile, in southern Germany, locals around the Burschengarten have revived tales of the Warpendinger. What's it like? A chimera made from parts of real animals, commonly depicted with a rabbit or hare's body, deer antlers, bird's wings, sometimes fangs, hooves or duck's bill. Cultural role, traditionally used as a tall tale to tease travellers and children, often displayed as humorous taxidermy mounts in alpine inns and museums, a playful symbol of regional folklore rather than a creature meant to be feared. A Warpendinger fits into alpine folklore traditions as a blend of humour, local identity and oral storytelling rather than a sacred or terrifying mystic beast. A creature of tall tales and teasing. In the Alpine regions, especially Bavaria within the Greater Alps, folklore often includes playful deception. The Warpendinger was used to amuse locals, tease outsiders and travellers, test whether someone understood local humour. Hunters might claim they'd seen one deep in the woods, then send a gullible visitor off with absurd instructions to catch it. Rooted in hunter and mountain culture, Alpine folklore grew out of hunting traditions, long winters and storytelling in inns, close observation of animals. The Warpendinger reflects this by being made entirely of familiar alpine animals, a humorous exaggeration of nature rather than something supernatural. It says, in effect, the mountains are strange, but not magical, just worth a good laugh. A symbol of regional identity. Unlike dragons or demons, the Warpendinger has no moral lesson, doesn't punish wrongdoing, isn't tied to religion or mystic cosmology. Instead, it serves as a local mascot, a visual joke, and says, "You're in Bavaria now." That's why it appears on inn signs, postcards, souvenirs, and folk art. Part of a broader alpine tradition of hybrids. The Warpendinger fits a wider alpine pattern of invented creatures that blur reality. Exaggerated animals, humorous monsters, storytelling meant to entertain, not warn. Comparable figures include regional hybrids and hoaxes across mountain Europe, where isolation and oral tradition encourage creature invention. Why it's endured? It survived because it's funny rather than frightening, adaptable, no correct appearance, perfect for visual display and storytelling. In short, the Warpendinger represents the light-hearted side of alpine folklore, a reminder that not all myths were meant to explain the world or enforce rules. Some were simply meant to make people smile by a fire after a long day in the mountains. Eastern Europe, between folklore and fear. Eastern Europe is a treasure chest of folklore, but modern cryptid reports here are especially intriguing because they blur with mythology. In Poland, local newspapers in 2020 carried reports of a winged humanoid seen flying over the city of Lublin at night, described by witnesses as bat-like with a human silhouette. Police dismissed it as a drone. Paranormal investigators disagreed. I will be doing a podcast on the Mothman, who appeared in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, in the USA at some point, which has a similar feel to this, so watch this space. In Romania, where the forests of the Carpathians cradle the legend of vampires, locals also tell of the Capra Cutrea Bicoria, the three-legged goat, a spirit creature said to guard mountain passes. In 2022, a truck driver passing through Prahova claimed his dashcam captured a limping, horned shape crossing the road at night. When he checked the footage later, the file was blank. And in Ukraine, rural communities near the Carpathians report a howling upright beast in 2019 and 2020, coinciding with wolf attacks that left investigators puzzled. Folklore? Natural predator? Something else? In regions where myth and daily life intertwine, even modern witnesses often interpret what they see through the old stories, a reminder that sometimes belief shapes perception just as much as evidence. In Polish folklore, the closest match to a winged humanoid is the lilik, a distinct, eerie human-like creature with bird traits. Originates in Poland and the wider Slavic regions, often described as a humanoid body, large wings, owl-like or bat-like, a bird's head or face, active at night, emits cries similar to night birds. The real bird, lilik, equals nightjar. Folkloric role. Considered a demonic or vampiric being, sometimes believed to be a restless soul of an unbaptized child, a person who died violently, associated with draining life force, night terrors, misfortune. How it fits Polish folklore traditions. Unlike the playful Warpentinger, Polish folklore, shaped by medieval Christianity and Slavonic beliefs, tends to portray hybrids as dangerous or cursed. Winged humanoids often symbolize souls trapped between worlds, moral or religious transgressions, fear of the night and the unknown. Related Polish winged or flying beings. Latawiek, flying demonic spirits, sometimes humanoid. Striga, vampiric humanoid, usually wingless but sometimes bird associated. The Striga is one of the most feared beings in Polish folklore, a vampiric, often winged humanoid associated with death, the night, and restless souls. What is the Striga? In tradition, belief from Poland and the wider Slavic regions, a Striga is a human-born being marked with abnormal traits, often described as having two hearts, two souls, sometimes wings or bird-like features. After death, one soul leaves the body, the other rises, turning the corpse into a predator. Appearance and behaviour. Strigas are typically said to rise from graves at night, feed on blood, breath or life force, cause illness, madness or sudden death. Description vary by region. Some portray them as gaunt, corpse-like humans. Others emphasise avian traits, claws, wings, screeching cries, linking them to night birds. Cultural meaning. Unlike playful alpine creatures, the striga served a serious social function. Explained unexplained deaths, epidemics, or infant mortality. Reflected fear of improper burial, social outsiders, death without ritual closure. Christian influence reframed the striga as demonic, while older Slavonic beliefs tied it to souls trapped between worlds. Protection and prevention. Folk practices to stop striga included burying the body face down, weighing it down with stones, removing the head or heart, using iron objects or holy symbols. These practices echo anti-vampire traditions across Eastern Europe. Place in folklore traditions. The striga represents the dark side of Slavic folklore. Mortalized and fear-driven, closely tied to death rites and religion, a warning figure rather than entertainment. Where the Walpendinger made people laugh in alpine inns, the striga reminded villagers of danger and unsettled souls and broken rituals. Modern legacy. The striga influenced modern vampire myths. Appears in contemporary fantasy and games, notably Slavic-inspired works. Remains one of the most iconic Polish folkloric monsters. Why these sightings keep happening? So what's really going on? 3 possibilities come up repeatedly. Number 1, misidentification. Many sightings happen at night, in bad weather or under stress. A log becomes a serpent, a bear stands upright. Shadows stretch into monsters. Number 2, cultural projection. Every region has stories. When people grow up hearing them, they become filters for what we see. If your grandmother told you about the tassel worm, you're more likely to see something serpent-like in the mist. Number 3, something undiscovered. Despite how mapped our world is, we're still finding new species each year, mostly small, but sometimes larger than expected. Could a few relic specimens survive in deep European lakes or hidden forests? No one knows for sure. But there's another layer. People want mystery. In a digital world where everything feels explained, cryptids give us something science can't download, a sense that there's still room for wonder. The modern cryptid hunter. Today, cryptid hunting isn't just a fringe hobby, it's digital. Reddit threads, YouTube documentaries, drone footage, and citizen science projects all contribute to the modern folklore record. In 2024, an online project called European Enigmas began mapping new sightings using open source data. Most entries are hoaxes or misinterpretations, but a few stand out. One case from Norway, Medusa Lake, in 2023 recorded a sonar reading similar to that at Loch Ness, a moving mass 20 metres below the surface, about 12 metres long. Another, from a Slovak hiker in 2022, included thermal images of a tall bipedal figure, too large for a human, moving between trees. Neither have been debunked, neither have been proven. And that, in a world of cryptids, is where the story usually ends, or maybe begins. Why do we keep looking? Europe is old. Its landscapes carry memories, myths, layered over history, over prehistory. When someone sees something strange moving across the lake or hears heavy footsteps in the forest, they're not just encountering an animal, they're stepping into a story that's been whispered for centuries. Maybe these cryptids aren't real in a biological sense. Maybe they're real because they endure, because people keep seeing them, naming them, fearing them, and loving the mystery. And as folklorists put it, cryptids are mirrors. They show us what we want to believe still hides in the wild. So the next time you find yourself walking in the fens of Cambridgeshire and you hear a horrifying howl and the shadow of a large dog-like creature disappears into the fog, or maybe by a European lake at dusk when the mist starts to rise and the water goes still, take a look. If you see ripples where none should be, don't run. Just remember, you might not be alone. That brings this episode of Dr. Den Does Cryptids to a close. Thank you for joining me on this podcast. If you enjoyed tonight's investigation, follow the show, leave a review and share it with someone who loves history, mystery and the shadows in between. You can find all episodes of the Dr. Den Does podcast for free on Spotify, iTunes and Podbean. The Dr. Den Does podcast is an original by me, Dr. Den. The executive producer is me, Dr. Den. Sound design by me, Dr. Den. Production by me, Dr. Den. Written by me, Dr. Den. Fact checking by me, Dr. Den. Research by me, Dr. Den. Edited by me, Dr. Den. Post-production by me, Dr. Den. And I'm your host, Dr. Den.
You can listen to these podcasts on Podbean, Mixcloud and YouTube. Just search Dr. Den Does and Black Fox Radio. Contact us now on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. Just search for Dr. Den or email us at drdenblack@gmail.com.